All right, what's up, everybody? It's your girl Victoria, and this is Served on Sunday. Today we're doing a little relationship panel, and we have
Sade Beckett. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
and Tay.
Yes, your boy Free.
And
Enon, aka Sugar Father.
Sugar Father. Okay. So you may recognize Enon and Tay. Enon from our male panel, and Tay from our ladies panel. Now, how are you guys doing today?
I'm actually doing really good.
Oh.
It was a good day.
Okay. Today was a good day. Okay. Tay, how are you?
Yes, I'm great. Blessed. Blessed and highly favored. Amen.
Alrighty. Well, let's go ahead and get into the pots. It's an all-pot show, so sizzle, lizzle.
So let's just talk about everybody's relationship status, because I'm single.
she said, hold up. Okay.
I'm single, obviously. Relationship.
Yeah.
I got it
Together.
Oh, you have a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm the only single one over here. Hey, shout out to
okay.
my single ones out there. How y'all doing? So how long have y'all been together?
Us?
You don't know. No.
It's about relationship.
It's okay. No, it really is.
I
We have been together.
I didn't know she was putting it out. I thought she was putting it in. That's what I was trying to ask. But
Do you know how long we've been together?
Uh-oh.
We have problems.
Oh.
No. Do you know how long we've been together?
Yes.
How long?
For 5 months.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, 5 months. Yeah, it's good. Good job.
And just tell us how y'all met as well. Tell the people. Let's get into it. Relationships.
Okay, so we went to high school together actually,
Okay.
but we never talked to each other. And then this past year in like December, we started messaging, but supposedly we were messaging like months before, and I just stopped talking to him out of nowhere. I don't know what happened, but yeah, and then we started actually intentionally dating, and then he asked me to be his girlfriend.
I like how you just stood there. You didn't shake your head like, no, she tried to get, hold on. You know how guys are like, she wanted me first. So I like that.
Yeah. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That's how the story goes. And so it's happily ever after.
So let's talk about conflict. How do you deal with conflict when you do get into a fight? Because it's inevitable. When you're in a relationship, of course, you are going to have disagreements. Sometimes people disagree to agree. How do y'all handle that?
I think communication is key. So we try to reach a level of understanding. I think that's the biggest thing, is we try to understand like where each other are on that. You know what I'm saying? Because in either way, we both were in some space, at some moment. So it's just, okay, let me help me understand where you were in that moment, and let me try to help you understand where I was in that moment, so we can reach a common ground.
And I'm very transparent, so it's not always like that. It doesn't always happen like that. I'm more of a hothead than he is, and so like I had to learn to talk it out, because I'm used to arguing, even though I'm a very good communicator. When I'm in a relationship, I'm used to arguing it. And he had to teach me that, okay, no, we ain't got to do this right here. We can do it like this. And so sometimes I have to pull myself back, but communication is like the #1 thing. We just try to talk it out, even if we need to breathe first.
Yeah, even if you have to walk away real quick, I feel it.
Yeah, we try to talk it out.
And so you said you are growing. So let's talk about love. So I know you're growing in love, right? But at the same time, how do you deal with loving someone's imperfections? And it's things that you probably don't like that he does, things that you don't like that she does. How do y'all work together? Because y'all don't live together, do you?
No.
Okay, so how do you deal with that as well?
I think it's a matter of,
besides communication.
right. No, I think it's just a matter of accepting your partner for who they are, like flaws and all. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, truly take them for who they are and where they're at in that moment. Because if you can't do that, then it's not gonna work. So I think we just work very well at understanding each other for who we are in this moment, and accepting that, and saying like, I love you for who you are.
Right. Yeah.
And for me, I think it's making a conscious decision not to love them for their potential, and actually, loving them like how they are in this moment. Because even though you can accept somebody for who they are, but still be looking forward into what you want them to be, or expecting that change to come. But like, what if they never change? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if what if they stay just like this? Like, could you love them even then? So just making that conscious decision and paying more attention to that is, for me, because I know that we're both growing, and it's easier for you to want somebody to be there for you while you're growing, but it's harder to look at somebody else and be like, okay, I'm gonna still be here, I'm gonna still love you past your imperfection, past your flaws, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's more of a decision for me. Like, I have to be like, okay, in this moment, I'm not gonna do this because I'm growing the same, you know.
Right.
So.
And it's about not falling in love with someone's potential, because someone's potential is not what you expect it to be. So Enon, I know your girl's not here, right? How long have you been in a relationship?
We've probably been dating for 5 years, but we talked
What?
for 7. Yeah.
5 years.
We've actually lived together for 2.
Right.
Oh, where is she at? Why
Right
is
now
she-
she's in Florida. She was taking care of her mom, but she got caught up in the quarantine. She couldn't come back.
Okay, so 5 years. What do you think about marriage? And
I see it possibly in the future, but I mean, I'm still growing. She's still growing, so I don't want to make any kind of like extreme decisions.
do you have any kids?
No, I
You
don't.
want kids?
Yeah, I do.
So you see yourself with her?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about some do's and don'ts of a relationship. What are some do's that you like when your partner does and that you don't like when your partner does? Maybe this might help too. This could be like a little therapy session right now. You get a little therapy in here.
Dues, I think dues is just, realizing the effort that's put in, to see, to understand you and to learn you, the consideration, the patience, dunks. I think it's just, I think it's basic level of respect, you know what I'm saying? Like, certain stuff is just like, like, wow, would you do that?
Or things that don't need to be said, right?
Yeah, like, I think it's kind of like unspoken rules, like, you know what I'm saying? So.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with the don'ts.
Okay.
Do
start with the
not,
don'ts.
do not compare. Do not compare
That's a good one.
to past relationships. Don't do it, whether they were good, whether they were bad.
That's a good one.
On the last panel, I talked about my boyfriend that passed away. I had a boyfriend when I was in my freshman year of college, and he passed away in a car wreck. And that was like, it was before now, it was like the greatest love I had ever known. And it was just not because he died, because people love to talk about people good when they pass,
Right.
but I learned so much, I grew so much in that relationship, and for some reason I feel like every time I got in a relationship, the man that I was with, because he knew about, my ex, that he automatically compared himself to him, and so eventually I found myself doing that in relationships, but it's never good to do, because then you'll never see the person that you're with for who they really are.
Yes.
So do not compare. Please don't
That's a
compare.
good one.
But dues, I think one do for me is affection, and just paying close attention to your partner, learning your partner, even after y'all decide to make it official, even after y'all are in a relationship, because a lot of people start to carry on as if they're married once they're together, but you're still learning that person. Like, even though we've been together for 5 months, he probably knows a lot about me, and I probably know a lot about him, but we don't know everything about each other. And even though, like, sometimes we don't want to accept that because we take the person to be, that's mine, I should know everything about them, but the reality is that you don't. You're still learning. So learn your partner.
Learn your partner.
Yep.
For you,
For me, one of my don'ts, you gotta respect the person you're with. Like, at the end of the day, you're gonna constantly change, you're gonna constantly grow into be different things. Like, but if you can't look at that person with the same like joy or the same happiness that you saw them once when y'all first was just talking or texting, you just shouldn't be in a relationship, because you're gonna find that. But one of my big like dudes is like that reassurance. That reassurance to let people know, like,
Yes.
Hey, I love you. Hey, I respect your insecurities. Hey, it's this and that. So and so and so forth.
Affirmation is important. Learn your love languages. That's another thing. Like, what is your love language? Take the test. Do whatever you need to do to find out how you want to be loved, how you should love, and how your partner wants to be loved as well. So
We took the test.
that's the good one. And what was your love language?
Mine was acts of service.
Okay.
And his was physical touch.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And do you feel like it's accurate on both ends?
Absolutely.
Really?
Ooh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
funny.
for a long time, we thought mine was like gift giving. Like, I thought that for the longest, but that was like the second one on my list. It was acts of service first, but then after we saw that, we like looked back and it was like, dang, like that is mine. Like, that's important to me, because when he don't do certain stuff like that, I think should come naturally.
Naturally.
I'm like,
Looking
what are you doing? No, for real. Like, what are you doing? Like,
Sideways.
so yeah.
I hear that. Okay, now this one is a little touchy topic, okay? Speak openly and freely. You've been in a relationship for a little bit longer, so let's ask you first. Temptation. How do you deal with it? Because it's a lot of beautiful women out here, and it's a lot of fine men. Hi, man. How you doing? I'm single, by the way. Hi. So how do you deal with that? And have you ever been tempted before?
I mean, everybody is. I mean, you're
And how
human
did you-
being. Just the only thing that's different is just the fact that when you know you really care about somebody, you don't want to see them to a point to where they either feel like disrespected in a situation where they look stupid, or in a situation where they feel insecure. And it's like that alone should make you want to not proceed.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it's kind of just like it just comes down to like, if you want to do it, do it. I mean, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. I mean, at the end of the day, you're gonna suffer the consequences of doing it or not doing it. If you do it, you just don't be with the person you're with.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do want to be with the person you're with, you need to be like honest about it up front, and just tell them that you're not looking for nothing necessarily monogamous.
Honesty. Honesty is key, and a lot of people don't have that to unlock that door. For you?
Yeah, I think it's just, having a level of respect, because you have respect for them. And you don't want them to, look a certain way or feel a certain way, and ultimately at the end of the day, regardless, like, some people just be like, oh, I was just in the moment, but if you have a choice.
I hate that too.
Yeah, because in that moment, even in that moment, you still know the difference between right and wrong.
Yeah.
At some point at some point in time in that situation, it crossed your mind, like, should I be doing this? That question came across your mind at some point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And at that point, you have to make a decision. So it's just about, making the decision. Like you said, you're going to do what you do. But at the same time, it's like, based off of what you do shows the level of respect you have. It doesn't say anything about your love, because you can love them to death. But it says something about the respect level you have for them.
Right. And for you, Tay? Lady Tay.
I think it's different for women though. Like, it's definitely.
That's all we want to hear it. Come on, girl.
Okay, so like I feel like men will take anything as flirting. So you just have to be really, really careful about how you interact with people, because y'all just will. Y'all take anything for flirting, and then y'all won't even notice when a woman is flirting with y'all. Like,
yes.
And so for me, I just, if they do approach me, then I'm just like, I'm really straightforward, like, and I just let them know, like, that I'm taking, like, and because men will be persistent.
They will. They want it. They gonna get it.
What? So, like, I feel like, but if you're just as persistent as they are, then they'll eventually leave you alone. And so that's all I really can do. I'm not gonna be all up in your face, laughing with you and talking with you like a friend after I find out that you really like me, because then you'll take that as something else. And so that's just me. I just pay attention to how you interact with people.
So what are you giggling about at the end?
I was just about to ask, what's the thin line between just
What is flirting?
flirting with a purpose or just flirting for flattery?
Yeah.
What's the difference? Is there a difference?
I mean, I would think both of them are wrong, because
Wrong.
either way, it's for your ego, and you should only want that from the person that you're with.
Now, let me ask this one question: is the person you with, is them accepting that you get flattery from other people and accepting that ego boost and that dopamine, accepting you to get that, is that also just part of your relationship agreement? Can that be
I
something that
think
y'all
so,
can-
because I'm somebody who loves
Because
compliments.
it's not bad. I mean, it's not
It's not.
cheating. It's just
But if you enjoy it and you're constantly putting yourself in a position to
To get it?
receive it,
Yeah.
then that's the issue, because I mean that can be addicting as well.
Seeking
So you
attention.
shouldn't even put yourself in the position to enjoy it, because you're going to keep wanting it, you know?
For me,
So-
I was in a relationship and I feel like my ex-boyfriend would always tell me how beautiful I was because he didn't want anybody else keep telling me, oh, you look good today, or oh, this or that. At the same time, though, he was a naturally flirty person. Like, how do you deal with somebody that's naturally flirty? Because I flirt and I don't even know I'm flirting until somebody's like, girl, you was smiling a little bit too hard, or that shoulder tap, knowing that when I'm laughing, I'm just naturally touching your shoulder. You know what I mean? I didn't touch you because COVID. Okay. But I understand that. I understand both sides, but I just think it depends on the couple and how you take that. Flirting isn't okay intentionally. But if it just happens and it's harmless. You need that to survive. When you get married, especially, I always say this to married couples, when you get married, it's always going to be somebody that's more attractive. It's always going to be something else. You're going to have to just suck it up. You're gonna flirt with somebody. You're not going to be married for 20 years and never compliment another man or woman. You know what I mean? In my eyes. But that's me realistically.
Well, I have a question then, because since you think that's you need that to survive, would you say that that's the equivalent to married people trying to see if they still got it? Like,
yeah, I don't think you
okay.
need it to survive though. I'm just saying naturally, like you're living, it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be in the grocery store. You might just have a innocent conversation with a man who's like, "Yeah, girl, I see you working in pants," and you just laughing like, okay. And it's something innocent like that, but you're married. You know what I mean? So
It'll
So,
never go further.
speaking
yeah, it'll
about-
never go further than that.
Speaking about married people, how would you feel if you were married to someone and they had like a Tinder account? Not to like really hook up with anyone, but you know, you swipe left, you swipe right, you see who's interested in you. So no, strong pass.
Absolutely not. No.
No,
You look like
but
you're contemplating.
I mean, I was thinking about something entirely off the topic.
Okay, well
but,
answer my question.
so that's just, I mean, at that point, if you're married, why have a Tinder?
Tinder
That's just
account.
childish.
I mean,
That's just childish.
they're trying to
relationship
see if they
etiquette.
still got it. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's
Yeah.
not.
No.
That's cheating.
Dressing up and going somewhere with
That's
your friends
cheating
and
at
y'all
that
just talking and acting as if you're not, like, it's just, it stands up an argument better, which is not make it right or wrong. It's just, you know, I personally feel like if you need that, it just, I think people see relationships as some long journey that you die in. And I just don't think that that's just how it's really supposed to go. Like, I understand, like, relationships can last forever, but I don't really think that they should. I think they're more of a learning purpose than really just something a companion to have. So it's like, at some point, it's okay for it to end. It's okay for it to not exist anymore. And I feel like if you need to feel it again, it's just, you're living in a situation where you just don't necessarily, you're not learning anything.
But how do you know if it's something momentary, like, you know, just for the moment, or if it's like, I mean, because this could have happened. But this could have happened, like, I mean, Ayesha Curry, for instance, was saying this about Steph, right? And this was happening right after she got pregnant. So she was in postpartums. So sometimes you just feel like that with whatever you're going through. You may not always feel like that. So why would you let it end right there?
I mean, it's communication with your partner. Y'all should come to an agreement, and he should or she should know how you feel at like every twist and turn of emotion.
Okay. I mean, I'm just saying because attention from your partner is different from outside attention.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you do expect to feel validated in your relationship, but your confidence level kind of comes from, like, outside, like whether other people would see it, if that makes sense.
Sometimes, not all the time. It depends on who you are, because for me, child, no.
I mean, but if somebody says something to you, like, you're going to, like, think about it, are you not? Whether you know them or not.
Yeah, it just depends on what it was. Yeah, what was said. But for me, I think I'm just different in the way that I built myself up. So I try not to let that influence anything. You know, I don't know. I'm just different. I'm weird.
Okay, but while we're on you, you're single.
Yeah.
How's the singles life?
It's great. I love it.
You love
I'm
it?
having a good time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you prefer to be single, or would you rather be in a relationship?
Well, I was in a relationship for 5 years, and then we broke up, and then I was in a relationship for like a year and a half to 2 years. So that was like a long time, especially when I was in college. And I love relationships, but for me right now, like giving my all to someone, knowing what I'm trying to accomplish and the path that I'm on. I just need someone who's at the same point in my life to meet me. But the single life is good because I like living my own life. I don't like answering to anyone. I like to have a good time. I like to come and go as I please. You know, it's a good time for me.
Do you think it's going to be harder to find what you're looking for with how the world is set up now? Or do you think it's all the same?
No, I don't. I ain't got a hard time getting a man child. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just like. But no, seriously, no, I don't think that. I think that for me, I have to organically meet someone. A lot of people nowadays, they meet online and nothing's wrong with it. But for me, I'd have to see where you are mentally. Are you stimulating my mind mentally? Not just from a conversation, texting. Like, how are you articulating your words? You know what I'm saying? I'm that type of person. But
I feel that. I don't like the online experience. That is not. I'd rather meet someone in person. I
have to meet someone organically and see how he is. What kind of love and vibe he's giving me.
But that is a good thing that you said that organically, because meeting online, I mean, like you said, like if you like it, I love it. But that is in a sense forcing like yourself to meet somebody rather than like letting it come to you.
Yeah.
So have you guys ever online dated?
Actually, me and my girl met online.
Oh, look at us trashing online relationships. Go ahead.
I feel like it's a different community. I feel like it's just digitally doing the same thing. You talk to a few people, you just talk about whatever the case may be. You're not even talking to it for any kind of romantic pursuit. You're just talking just for company at that moment. And if it turns into something, it does, and it doesn't. The positive thing about it is the sexual part isn't there. So it's like you're not distracted with anything like physical. So now you can really get to know, what makes you sad, what makes you happy, what makes you, insecure. So it's not, just the distractions are not there. So I feel like both of them have their pros and cons.
Yeah.
It's just depends on which one you choose to go to.
I think that is the main place where it goes straight to like the sexual thing though. Like that's where people are more comfortable to ask that. Because nobody would dare to ask you that on the first date, but first message, hey, like, you know what I mean?
Just red flags shine brighter online.
I have a very different perception of online dating than I do. Because I online dated for a little bit, and online dating for me is just a starter. Like, I can't talk to you for like 2 weeks without seeing you in person. So it's like, after, that's just how, if I meet you like that, it's okay, but after that, we talking and we texting or whatever, I need to see your face. Like, I need to be in your presence.
But some people go 2 months, like 3 months, 6 months.
No, I cannot. That to me, that's a waste of time.
That's too long. That's just a friend at that point.
In my old scenario, it wasn't like a website. It's just I hopped in her DMs on Instagram. In the fact that she was in like Florida, I couldn't really see her physically, so we just FaceTime and shit like that.
So long distance, and you met online. Yeah. How's a long distance thing?
That's
complicated.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you, it was complicated. It was a long process, and it still affects stuff today, but you can get through it.
Okay. Somebody said, I feel like it can happen organically online because just as someone can see you in person, they can see you online and approach you, and it's actually fun nowadays that we have FaceTime. What's up?
Rolling Stone, I agree, but at the same time, I'm so sorry to say this.
Shout out to my girl.
But let me just say this, I did not think this was real.
Right.
Social media is a trick sometimes. Like, it tricks you. Some people do not look like how they present themselves to appear. I'm sorry. I even saw this one dude, I seen a female, and I seen them outside of social media, and I was shocked. Like, social media and filters and all of that, it does wonders. So sometimes I do agree, but I gotta make sure everything is authentic, okay? I'm sorry, that's just me.
I mean, it's your judgment.
Okay.
I mean, I can't really tell you if that's long or not. So some people, it might be just too long.
I think it depends on the person too, because some people aren't as sexually experienced as others. And some people are prudes, like, they're not comfortable in their skin. Or some people just have respect and like, for me, if you're not my man, I don't even want to see what's going on, I can see it in person, what do sweatpants look like, But that's it. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking from a guy's state of mind, you know what I'm saying? for him that seems like an opportunity. Like, okay, we get into what you want in the first place.
It's not,
you know
though.
what I'm saying?
It's not. She just wants
I'm just
So-
trying to see.
I mean, that's what you would think, but I'm talking about from the guy's state of mind.
But
Yeah.
even then,
You know what
you
I'm
kind of
saying?
ask yourself, my bad, cutting you off. But even then, it's like, I get the reason of why you want to see, but then it's kind of like, is it really justified? Like, it's kind of like, yeah, he's not supposed to think that you are trying to make sexual advances, which I understand. But is it still justified that you're trying to see what he's working with? Is that appropriate for the conversation?
I mean, I
Is
feel
he-
like it's fair because our assets are on a pedestal.
It is.
So if that's the case, isn't
It
it also
is.
just as fair for him to also think that you're trying to make an sexual
Yeah, and I can make myself clear and be like, oh, it's not going there, sir.
Because exactly, you wouldn't be clear about, yo, let me see what that lick looks like so I can know if it's acceptable. You know,
Yeah, like,
you wouldn't
yeah.
say that to him. So I mean, at the end of the day, the things you won't say are contrary to the things he won't say. I just feel like they're both equally.
But no, personally, I think you should ask questions though, like, what the fuck? Like, why are you trying to see my dick? Like, yeah.
Somebody asked, why does size matter? Does it? I mean, shoot, girls, does it?
Does size matter?
Yeah. Well, she's asking, why does it matter?
Because I
For
got
me-
something for that.
Oh, I hope nobody's watching this. I don't think.
Oh, man.
It does in a sense. It's okay. It doesn't if you know what you're doing with it. But for me, it does. It does, and that's all I'm gonna say. I just need a certain type of energy in my life to take care of me in certain ways. Okay. You next.
See, look. Sorry, Annie, you probably don't hear it, but it ain't even. It's not always about. It depends on what you're talking about with size. We're talking about length. We're talking about girth. You know what I'm saying? You got girth and you got curved, and it don't gotta be that long. You know, like
Yeah,
that's how it
depends.
is for me.
Yeah.
So it's. We gotta specify that because some people will just be talking about length and you can have a pencil pen, you know.
I mean, but
It is.
that's why I mean I was like, what do people think about having that question being asked?
Alright.
Somebody had said that that's weird, and if a guy were to ask her for her vagina, she would feel weird, and it shouldn't matter if you have a connection. I feel like if I'm coming with that energy, I expect that energy back.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. But I feel like if you do have a connection with that person, of course it doesn't matter. You can grow in love with somebody and theirs can be, the size of your pinky. It's okay. If you love them and you like that. It just depends on the person.
I disagree only because I've had a bomb connection with someone before and it wasn't there. So I mean, I'm just saying like
See,
sometimes it don't add
I've
up.
had that happen and I still like that. He was in my heart.
It can matter.
I know. I let it go. I let it slide. I was just like, okay, I'm just.
Okay. Straight up.
He had enough.
I'm gonna be real with you, brothers. Like, okay, low key, it really do matter.
It does.
It really do. But on the cool, it's not even like a whole like being like it's nothing wrong with that because at the end of the day, like she just want to be pleasured, but it's still like techniques and shit that you can do to make up for shit.
That's what I was
And
saying.
even fuck all of that. It's for one girl that size does matter. There's two that size don't.
Yeah, true.
So it's like it just really don't matter, but it does matter.
Yeah.
Type shit.
I
I think
agree.
it's dependent on the person, what they need.
Yeah.
Because you might have something that's not good for me, but it worked for somebody
Some
else.
shit.
You know?
So we should-
Question. Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. We should normalize asking pictures, like asking for pictures then, because I mean, shit.
Asking?
I mean, I'm just
Both
saying.
ways.
No, for
Because
sure.
There's so many times that guys get shamed just for asking, hey, can I get a picture? And he might even just be talking about a selfie to save in his contact list, but he gets like.
Did that happen to
goes
you?
left yeah, that was the personal shit that happened a long time. But anyway, what you ask for?
No, but it's different strokes for different folks. So yeah.
That's funny.
Rolling Stone said, "If you know what you're doing, you're fine. Honestly, because why should you pick him for something uncontrollable?"
That part.
Oh, she good over there. Okay. Shit, I don't
That's
know.
another thing. So, like expressing what you like sexually and intimately with your partner, is that something that you do not on the first date? What if you're into kinky things and your partner might not be into that? Like, how do you go about that and telling them that, hey, I like this? It might be some crazy, freaky, deep.
I feel like the longer you wait to tell them, the longer your sex life will be boring to you.
Yeah. Okay.
And the sooner you tell them, the sooner you can find somebody that's gonna be down with all that freaky shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I
agree.
think it's just a comfortability factor. I mean, if that's, you know what I'm saying, if that's your partner, y'all rocking like that, then you should be able to be like, I like this and I don't like this. I want to try this and I don't want to try this. And either they going to be with it or they not going to be with it.
Mm-hmm.
What if they're not with it? Y'all break up with them?
I wouldn't say it as bluntly as, but
I don't think that you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, y'all got to find that. I don't know, that's a personal decision. Because, like, y'all got, yeah. Like, I feel like there's stuff y'all can work around to kind of reach an even medium, or, you know, something that's equivalent to that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, if you won't do this, well, then will you try this? You know what I'm saying? But if they just not down for anything, then alright, well, then, you know, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Because you got to get your pleasure.
You can scare someone away if you like certain things. Though,
but I feel like for a lot of people, that conversation is kind of had, even if it's not like blunt. Like, you know if that person is very adventurous in the bedroom, or if they won't really try, you'll know that before you get there just by knowing the kind of person that they are. And so like you have like little, I feel like you do have little subtle conversations about sex.
Sometimes they surprise you.
Yeah,
So
I was just gonna say
I guess it depends on how transparent and open the person is in that area. Cause
speaking of, somebody asked, how do you go about dating a shy person?
it has pros and cons. It's fun, but it can also be a little boring too. Because it's fun because now everything that they experience with you is gonna be brand new, and like everything that you do is gonna be kind of like extraordinary in their eyes, but it's so normal to you. But it can also be boring because they're not gonna be open to the experiences that you are open to, or not as, you know, vulnerable in the nightlife as you want to be, because they would be too timid to really, you know, get out there, do that first stage of just dancing, not let alone like going to here and here and here and here, you know. So.
Okay. What do y'all think? Is any of you shy? No. Okay.
I can't.
Okay. I just feel like for some people, like, you gotta know like what areas they're shy in, because some people are just shy with meeting people, but it not when it comes to going out. Like, they'll have fun, they'll try new stuff, they just have to be comfortable with the people that they're with, you know. So if they're just like complete, like, sheltered, don't really go out, don't really move around, like that kind of shy, then I would agree with Enon. But I feel like with dating a shy person, you just gotta make them feel comfortable. Like, you gotta make them know that they have a safe place with you in whatever area it is that they're shy in, you know. And then they'll go and they'll experience things with you, and they'll be more open to being adventurous because they're comfortable being vulnerable with you. So
I was gonna say, I'm a shy person, and if somebody, like, you know, was frustrated by that, I probably would never talk to them again. So yeah, I would do just that.
I don't know how to deal with it because I'm so outgoing. So it's like, for me, for someone shy dealing with me, especially a man, it's kind of like, oh, she's doing too much. When really, I'm just like, hey, having a good time, and I don't want to suppress myself and dim my light to make them feel comfortable in a way. And I did deal with someone who was a little bit more like calm and shy. Well, he wasn't shy, but he was calmer than I was, which is a good balance for us. But for me personally, I'm too much like of a personality to.
But I think that this comes to a point of having an understanding, like, you know what I'm saying. I don't think that you necessarily have to dim yourself or, you know, preserve yourself, but you just gotta understand where that person is coming from, and that they're a different type of person, you know, different mindset, and understanding how this experience makes them feel. Like, I bet, like, I'ma still be me, but I'm gonna make you comfortable in me. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me help you in this lane to where, like, you know, I can help you experience this in your comfort level.
And some men don't like that.
Right, and that's exactly what I was about to say. Don't. I can attest to being a really big personality. Like, I know, and so don't date nobody that you're too big for. You know what I'm saying? And that was the thing. Like, I would date people, and they would, you know, we would love being around each other, and, you know, like, we would love each other, but I realized that I was too big for them. My personality was too big for them, because every time I was me, then they would go, like this, you know, and it's like, why can't you be yourself around me being myself? Like, why does that make you uncomfortable?
Right.
Don't date nobody like that, because you're too big for them.
Yeah.
Like, and you need a man that's, you know, if you like calm men and you feel like that's a balance for you, you need a man that can say, okay, my girl got a big personality, so I love when she does her. I love when she's like that, because she's in her element. Like, you want to experience the best, your partner being their best selves, you know. So.
Well, Lady Tay just gave me a word, Tom. Okay, can't nobody tell me nothing.
But don't let nobody tell you nothing.
So I'm gonna read one more comment and then let's go to the pot. So somebody said that she feels like that at a certain point you need to pick what's more important, either your relationship or your sexual pleasure. Another comment says that he thinks that goes hand in hand. What do y'all think?
I think that goes hand in hand. Like I mean, we can come back if y'all have something to say. But, I mean, I just think it comes hand in hand. I think at the end of the day, they both matter. They just really both matter. Like to tell somebody that they should choose one or the other is kind of unfair, and I feel like that's just not ready. And if you are ready, just find somebody else who share that same connection in that area. It's not that important to them. But some people it's important to.